Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Final Fantasy II commentary. This is Loghain F for the Revenants gaming. All right, so yeah, it's been a bit of a breather since my Final Fantasy I commentary, and as you can see, we have four characters, and I've renamed Furiel to myself. Guy will be named after Carl. Maria will be named Sarah, and Leon will be named Zeke. All right. So yeah. All right. A long-lived peace. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, there will be a little more involved storyline with this one as opposed to the previous game, which was very much point A to point B. Is at an end. Actually, yeah. All right. So yeah, the Emperor is actually a villain that has a lot more presence than Garland. I will say, yeah, he has a lot more presence than Garland in the sense that he consistently does more in the plot, whereas Garland was defeated in the beginning of Final Fantasy One, and then you just fought a past version of him who was basically controlling things through the future. Which, I mean, it's a starter game in an RPG in 1990. Like, I don't really expect too terribly much, but for 1987, point being. So yeah, this is actually kind of very reminiscent of Star Wars in a way, with the characters fleeing a murderous empire, and this actually brings us to the first new implementation of Final Fantasy II, and that is the hopeless battle, as I like to call it, which you'll see exactly what I mean in a moment. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just selecting regular attacks. And the attacks do absolutely nothing. And our defenses are garbage. So yeah, the hopeless battle is basically a battle that you are actually scripted to lose, as the title would imply, so yeah. So anyway, that's like the first, other than the more involved story, that's the first new edition. Yeah, as you can see, Minwu and Hilda are reviving the team, so yeah. Anyway, and so in theory, I like the idea of this story, but the problem is, like, you'll see more what I'm talking about. Final Fantasy II could best be summed up with as Final Fantasy II. It's great in theory, but in practice, a lot of the ideas that Final Fantasy II has are really clunky and not fully realized, which is why, like, up until this point, at the time of recording, I've only played through and beaten Final Fantasies 1 to 10, 10-1, mind you. And so I've only done that. And Final Fantasy, and out of all of them, I think the only Final Fantasy game I dislike more than this one is 8, and I have a laundry list of reasons why I don't like 8. So in the unlikely event we get to 8 within, I don't know, 2-3 years at the rate that I work, I apologize for that. So yeah, we'll see how it works. But yeah, 8 will be a lot more. It will be a bit more complaining, probably, but I try to balance things out. Oh, yeah, so yeah, another interesting point is the ask and learn feature, which it kind of reminds me, like, it's sort of like a very it's kind of like a classic RPG feature in a way, kind of like the investigate option, where you have conversational options that can yield more dialogue in a way. And in this case, it actually can, later on in the game, it can actually give you access to the best sword in the game, but we've got quite a ways to go, and I will be discussing that in a later part. where I actually leave it up to you guys in the comments. Like, I'll make sort of a poll. Either that or I'll tell Carl to, but we'll see how that happens on whether or not I should use the best sword in the game. Okay, so yeah, here's where we learn about how the mechanics in Final Fantasy II work. So you don't level up in the traditional sense with battles. It's very much dependent on how you and on how the battles go, your behavior in the battles. If you land more physical attacks, your accuracy will increase and your strength will increase. If you use more magic attacks, your magic points will increase, and and if it's black magic, your intellect will increase, which will boost the black magic spells. If you use more white mage spells, then I'm trying to remember what the your spirit will increase, which increases the potency of white mage spells and whatnot. If you get hit more, your health actually increases, which there's an exploit to this that is actually very infamous in the game, to the point where it's almost it borders on self-parody in a way. Because it doesn't matter where you get your damage from, so long as you take damage when after a certain number of battles, your health will increase. So I'll get to how archaic that can be. Also, if you avoid more attacks, your evasion will go up. You get the basic idea of how it's going to work. So another thing is the game does not have a set class system. Like, you can equip the classes, the characters however you want, but they do lean towards a certain way with their stats and how much leveled up their weapons are. Yes, the types of weapons, they do have a level up meter. That's another different thing. Like, the weapons are really the only thing that consistently level up in the traditional sense. So we'll see more of that as the part goes by. I had to actually cut almost like over an hour's worth of footage because this game requires a lot more grind sessions. Yeah, as you can see, I cut that out because I wandered around aimlessly. Yeah, this part is not too much is going to happen in this part. Like, I'm just going to be testing out spells primarily. Yeah, and as you can see, the first thing we're going to do is, as you saw, we linked back up with the characters. And so, yeah. And as you can see here, we're actually going to be we've seen Minwu, who is actually going to be our first temporary party member. Yeah, this game introduces the temporary party member gimmick with Final Fantasy, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So, as you can see, here we go to the spell shop. You have to buy the spells, and you can equip them to really any character, actually. So the way that the FF2 is set up is that Fynn which is named after me. He is the sword and shield white mage. That's how most people set him up. Maria is the bow black mage. That's how I'm setting her up. And Guy is just the tank, just physical damage. Yeah, and that's how I'm setting him up. And as you can see, we're giving the tomes. Oh no, what? That would have been funny. I give Guy / Carl like a spell that he's probably never going to use. So, yeah. So that's basically how I work it out. In theory, this is a good idea. The customization aspect would be more interesting. That problem is it leans way too much into. The problem is it leans a little too much into it's already preset. The game already kind of expects you to yield more towards certain characters. Yeah. So, yeah. Alright, also, I should probably clarify. Oh, yeah, and that's Gordon, who's later going to be another temporary member later on. So, as I'm going through this, I might as well take advantage of not much happening on screen. So, yeah. And, and as you can see, you'll be seeing there, like, the only random encounters I keep in are ones where I showcase either like the weapons or the new spells. So yeah. So the way it's going to work, let's see, I have my message from Carl that I'm reading. Basically, the upload schedule is going to be a bit different than we had it going. I'm going to be uploading these Final Fantasy II parts every Monday and Saturday, whereas Carl, his videos will go up every Wednesday and Friday. And yes, he's still working on Insomniac's Spider-Man, which was originally on the PS4, but I guess he's working on the PC version. So, yeah, great game, by the way. I only ever played the PS4 version, and he will be going through the DLC. I actually asked him about it because you know, Carl and I, we talk outside of channel-related business. So, anyway. So yeah, as you can see, yeah. Also, yeah, another thing you'll notice, yeah, the reason I keep spells in, the spells actually level up too, only not quite like they did in FF1 where you just buy better versions. No, the spells, the more you use them, do level up as battles progress. So yeah, I like this, again, I like this idea in theory. In theory, this is an interesting idea, so... Yeah, as you can see, we're getting the fire tome. Yeah. So yeah, that's how it's going to work with this channel. I'm sorry that there's really not too much to talk about with this part. This is just sort of the intro part where I'm just explaining mechanics. And, yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to how this playthrough is going to go down. I mean, there's going to be a lot of rambling. I'm going to be giving the game more of the benefit of the doubt compared to its predecessor. Although, objectively speaking, out of the original Final Fantasy trilogy that was released on the NES/Famicom, this is definitely the weakest one. Definitely, without a doubt. Because FF1 might be archaic, but functionally it just plays better. Whereas this one, you just spend way too much time like grinding and whatnot. I'll get to more of the reasons I'm not too big a fan of this one as it goes along. Oh yes, and as you can see, I'm taking full advantage of attacking Carl here to make him stronger. It is just as ridiculous as it sounds. In a way, it kind of reminds me of the Saiyans from Dragon Ball Z. Like, the more they get beat up, the stronger they get. If y'all anime fans follow that type of thing, then yeah. So now we're going to be traversing to the next area of the game, which we won't really see. So, but yeah, I thank you all for tuning in to Final Fantasy I commentary. I mean, the view count wasn't quite what I wanted it to be necessarily, but you know, yeah. And this is Gatrea, where we're just going to be buying more equipment. So anyway, I appreciate all the support. Hopefully I will be able to learn from my mistakes in the first part, or the first playthrough that I did of Final Fantasy 1. I do genuinely want the channel to grow. I mean, Carl and I are essentially now we're a two-man channel team. So, you know, we do our best. Having two commentaries going at once, that definitely will help boost channel views. But all right, so there's not too much for me to talk about right now. I will discuss the armors in the next part as we go through, because the armor mechanics are definitely something worth mentioning. But anyway, I guess what I can say is thank you all for watching. This is Loghain F. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, because it will definitely help our channel grow. And yeah, I will see you all in the next part. Hope you all have a good week and enjoyed your weekend. Bye. Great. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, and also side note, this is the next area of the game. All right, see y'all around.